This is the one you've known as Jesus the Christ. The fact that love is behind life isn't always obvious, is it? Why is there pain, suffering, loss, and death if love is behind life? These things can make it seem like God, if you will, or life, is cruel and uncaring, while quite the opposite is true. Seeing this is important in becoming free from the tyranny of the ego. The ego blames life or God for all the suffering it feels, while the ego itself is the culprit. It perceives life falsely. It suffers over life. It tells you life should be a certain way, or that you should be a certain way, or that others should be a certain way, when life, you and others, are the way they are, and that must simply be accepted if you're to be happy. Accepting the way things are changes how you experience life. You stop suffering in all the ways you never needed to. Such lies make you angry with yourself, with life, and with others. They make you feel that life is unfair and unkind, when it isn't. The idea that anything should be other than the way it is makes you unhappy, when everything just is the way it is. It's too late for things to be any different. Things are the way they are, and they can't be different right now than the way they are. That's the truth. Should is a lie, just one of the many lies and half-truths perpetrated by the mind, which make you suffer. The voice in your head's half-truths and lies create division and conflict within you and between you and others. These lies and misunderstandings cause you to suffer needlessly. Life is infinitely easier and more pleasant once you accept the truth about it. The way you know the truth when you hear it is that the truth results in peace, not suffering. The truth will set you free. It will free you to relax and be at peace with the way life is. The egoic state of consciousness is a state of unrest, conflict, dis-ease, and dissatisfaction. If you're feeling any of these, you're believing the lies the voice in your head is telling you. You can't feel conflicted if you aren't listening to these lies, because the truth results in peace, love, contentment, and appreciation of life. The truth is that life is good. The evidence for this is in the experience you have when you stop thinking or stop attending to the thoughts that run through your head. What better evidence is there but your own experience? You think that life is as the ego says it is, because when you believe that, that is your experience. That seems like evidence for the ego's point of view. However, when you stop believing the half-truths and lies the ego tells, what you have left is no beliefs, just life, and the experience of life is nothing like what the ego says it is. Life is benevolent and a great blessing. Which is true? There are two possible experiences of life, one shaped by your beliefs and one free of beliefs. Which one is true? The fact that beliefs shape your experience of life is one of the reasons the illusion, with a capital I, spoken of by mystics, holds together. People in a society have similar beliefs that create a similar false experience of reality. That shared experience of reality seems true, but it isn't. It is an illusion. The reality shaped by their beliefs is not how reality actually is. Until people become courageous enough to question these beliefs, they'll remain believers of this reality. The fact that so many others are creating this same reality with their beliefs makes it very difficult to question the beliefs that are the bedrock of this reality. It takes great courage to do so, to go against the crowd. There have always been those willing to do this for whatever reason: philosophers, mystics, gurus, rebels, and freethinkers. Such individuals have often held the key to a new paradigm or a new age within a society. Ground is not broken nor changes made by those who simply go along with the crowd. Free-thinking individuals, those willing to buck the crowd, are born into societies that are ready to awaken to a new level of consciousness or a new level of progress, in the case of technological revolution. You are in a time when both of these are happening at once. Today there is both an accelerated spiritual evolution and a technological revolution going on. The technological revolution will require a certain degree of spiritual evolution if you're not to destroy yourselves by forging ahead too quickly technologically without adequate foresight and wisdom. Souls of both kinds have incarnated at this time to accelerate both your spiritual evolution and your technological revolution. Both areas need acceleration if you're to solve your problems rather than create more. My point is that it's time for humanity to awaken to the truth about yourselves and about life. It's time to see that the problems and conflicts you have are not created by others, but by yourself. It's time to take responsibility for your inner state and what that reaps. Every individual must take responsibility for what he or she experiences in life. I'm not suggesting you blame yourself for how you experience life. Taking responsibility is very different from blaming yourself. Taking responsibility means seeing that you create your experience of life by what you tell yourself about it. If you don't like your experience of life, then change what you're telling yourself, about others, and about life. Tell another story. A truer, more complete story will leave you feeling at peace instead of unhappy. This is how peace comes to a world, one individual at a time. You are more in control of your happiness than you may think. You are not in control of many things, but you're in control of your attitude. That's about all you are in control of. Find a point of view that brings you peace. Whatever attitude or story brings you peace is the truth, or close to it. You know the truth by how it makes you feel. I'm not suggesting you make up untrue stories or delude yourself, which will not bring you peace, but find a truer, more complete story than whatever stressful or negative story you're telling yourself. For instance, if you're unhappy because you believe you'll never be happy, then realize that that is an impossibility, a lie. It would be impossible for anyone to never experience happiness. More importantly, find a way to feel happy right now. Find beliefs that allow you to relax and be happy now. Notice what you do have, not what you don't have. Practice gratitude. You must give up all ideas and beliefs that lead to inner and outer conflict. They are all lies. If your society is to survive, you must weed out all these lies and lean only on the truth. You and only you can do this for yourself. I'm empowering you now with this information, but you must put it to good use. Stop telling yourself things that make you unhappy and cause you to do things that make others unhappy. When the mind tells you these things, see that and say, "No, thank you. That is no longer my truth." Live without a story or tell a story that uplifts you, but stop telling stories that make you unhappy. Stop giving life a negative spin, and you'll see that life is not negative, but you have made it so with your thoughts about it. Life is good and precious. It is here for you, for your learning, for your growth, and for your enjoyment. If you're not enjoying it, then find out why. Examine your thoughts, for that is where the answer lies, not in getting more of something or becoming someone else. Nothing in your life has to change for you to be happy. As long as you believe that the problem is out there, you'll never be happy. The problem is always in here, in how you're thinking. In saying this, I'm not blaming you for how you're thinking, since you really aren't responsible for that. Thoughts come and thoughts go, and you don't make them come, nor do you make them go. What you are responsible for is what you do with the thoughts that come. Do you believe them? Do you think they give you accurate and helpful information? Have you examined them sufficiently before buying into them? Believing unexamined thoughts is a little like eating something without paying attention to what you're eating. Before you know it, it's done, and you've been unconscious the whole time. This is how many go through life, swallowing their thoughts, hook, line, and sinker, and then feeling victimized by the results. But who victimized you? Again, I'm not blaming you, because you're programmed to have these thoughts, to not examine them, to believe them, and to feel victimized by them. This is humanity's default. This is the human condition. I'm just saying that you can be free of this now with a little self-awareness and understanding of the truth. Life is not the way you think it is. Life is beautiful, a marvel, and you're here to discover this. You're meant to break free of the prison of your own mind and find the peace that passeth all understanding. You find this by peeling away the lies one by one until all you have is truth, all you have is reality, just as it is, pure and simple. Life is pure and life is simple. What a blessing it is. Discover this. Say no to whatever thoughts cause pain and conflict, and find out what life is really about. Say no to your mind's resistance to life, and discover that resistance to this beautiful life is all that has ever been in the way of enjoying it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your openness to this message. I am with you always.